In the beginning, when God created the heavens and the earth was a formless void. Darkness covered the face of the deep. The universe began in the dark. Though we often imagine the Big Bang, the event that began the universe some 13.8 billion years ago, as a brilliant explosion of light, scattering forth pure energy, then electrons and other elementary particles, then protons and neutrons, the raw materials of the universe, in a great fiery blaze. The reality, as science tells us, was actually quite different. And in some ways, more like those first two verses of the book of Genesis. Creation as a formless void, shrouded in darkness. The Big Bang was a rapid expansion of space-time itself, from an unimaginably hot and dense early state. But there was no visible light in the beginning. There were protons, or photons rather, particles of light. But they scattered endlessly off of free electrons, unable to travel any distance, unable to illuminate the darkness. The light was trapped, hidden. For the first 380,000 years, space was entirely opaque, an impenetrable fog. Nothing could be seen. It was only after that, when the universe cooled down enough for electrons to combine with protons, forming the first atoms, that photons, the light particles, were finally liberated. Light could travel freely and illuminate the cosmos, the visible dawn of creation. Let there be light. But just as creation began in darkness, so too, if left to itself, will it end in darkness. As it continues to expand, galaxies will move farther and farther apart. Stars will eventually burn out, and no new ones will form. Matter will decay into subatomic particles over immense spans of time. The universe will become increasingly cold, dark, and dilute. Eventually, only black holes and background radiation will remain. Finally, even black holes will evaporate, leaving behind a near empty and utterly dark universe. Now, don't worry too much. None of this is going to happen anytime soon. Our sun and possibly our planet have another 5 to 7 billion years, and on a larger scale, things don't really start to unravel for about 100 billion years. But no matter the time scale, the picture is clear. Nature ends with Good Friday, with crucifixion, and with the desolate silence of Holy Saturday, the darkness of the tomb. Even Elon Musk, the world's leading evangelist of salvation through technology and space exploration, who has said that landing on Mars is the first step towards escaping this little blue graveyard, meaning, of course, our planet, acknowledges that eventually everything just dissolves. And so even if we colonize Mars, and become an interplanetary species. And even if the biohackers and the tech immortality crowd do, after all, find a way to defy death, and even if the idealists among us manage to realize something like the vision in John Lennon's song Imagine, a world where we all living for today and living as one, ultimately, there is no hope for the eternal life of humankind within the natural confines of the cosmos. And in an age of disruption and darkness, such as we are now living in, when much of what we hold dear and perhaps previously took for granted seems to be in decline or even threatened with extinction, things like democracy, a relatively stable world order, the social fabric of our society, civility, common decency, community life and civic involvement, formalized religious structures and faith communities, the mental health of our children, our attention spans, a livable climate, and biodiversity. In a time such as this, the sobering cosmic perspective can hit a little harder. How then can we be saved? From where is our help to come? In what or whom can we trust? In the words of the great 20th century Anglican poet W.H. Auden, nothing can save us that is possible. We who must die demand a miracle. Nothing can save us that is possible. We who must die demand a miracle. The creation of the universe out of nothing, impossible. The emergence of conscious, sentient life in an apparently unconscious, inorganic universe, impossible. The deliverance of the people of Israel from slavery in Egypt, impossible. The union of the divine and human in Jesus, impossible. His birth from the Virgin Mary, impossible. His resurrection from the dead, impossible. Nothing can save us that is possible. But Jesus said that what is impossible for mortals is possible for God. For God, all things are possible. Our only hope is in what is impossible for us, what only God can do. In the resurrection of Jesus Christ from the dead. And the good news is that God has done the impossible. The stone is rolled back, the tomb is empty. In the words of another great Anglican writer, John Updike, make no mistake, if he rose at all, it was as his body. If the cell's dissolution did not reverse, the molecule reknit, the amino acids rekindle, the church will fall. It was not as the flowers, each soft spring recurrent. It was not as his spirit in the mouths and fuddled eyes of the 11 apostles. It was as his flesh, ours. The same hinged thumbs and toes, the same valved heart, that pierced, died, withered, paused, and then regathered, out of enduring might, new strength to enclose. Let us not mock God with metaphor, analogy, sidestepping, transcendence, making of the event a parable, a sign painted in the faded credulity of earlier ages. Let us walk through the door. The stone is rolled back, not papier-mâché, not a stone in a story, but the vast rock of materiality that, in the slow grinding of time, will eclipse for each of us the wide light of day. And if we have an angel at the tomb, make it a real angel, weighty with Max Planck's quanta, vivid with hair, opaque in the dawn light, robed in real linen, spun on a definite loom. Let us not seek to make it less monstrous for our own convenience, our own sense of beauty, lest, awakened in one unthinkable hour, we are embarrassed by the miracle and crushed by remonstrance. The stone is rolled back, friends. Let us walk through the door.